Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey B. Joe P. Zapia. With me, of course, is the Welsh, and it's you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, live here on Twitch, twitch.tv/fantasypros. I see you all filing in. Welcome to the show, everybody. And, of course, if you're watching us on demand on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, trying to get to 30K. Welsh, it was a fun day of baseball. Some more injury setbacks for pitchers we got to talk about. But your boy, Corbin Carroll, is tearing up the league right now.
Quite good. Quite good would be a good way to put it. 2 home runs, MVP candidate right now. Don't know if that can hold with guys like Shohei Ohtani. Pretty tough space to be in over in the NL. But Corbin Carroll looks like one of the best players in baseball. He reworked his swing a bit. That up inside zone where whatever it was, shoulder, that everybody kept picking on. You're not seeing hitters be able to attack that much anymore. He's not stealing as many bases, but I believe he's tied or near the league lead of homers, or at least in the NL. He is phenomenal, Joey. And you love to see it. And it makes you want to think to go back to where in the world are Welsh and Corbin Carroll. But Corbin's gone, and he's left me behind, and rightfully so at this point.
He's way more famous than you, at least for now.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani, still top of the board, or NL MVP, plus 320. Corbin Carroll, plus 400. Tatis, plus 400. Kyle Tucker, plus 400. And then 2 Metsies. Alonso at plus 7 and Lindor at 20-1. Why Lindor is at 20? I don't know, but he's been on a hot streak too. All of a sudden, the National League MVP race, kind of interesting, at least in the month of April. We'll see how it drags on.
It's rough, though. I mean, Tucker's the 4th on that list. Like, I don't know. There's no early favorite. Nothing I would want to bet at all, but it looks fun.
It does. Also fun, signs of life from some guys we thought you should be trading for. Christian Walker, 2 for 4, solo homer Wednesday. Cha-ching. So hopefully you watch the video on YouTube. We talked about Christian Walker turning things around, being an asset to buy. Triston Casas, another homer, 3-run dinger. So things are going better for him. And Michael Harris, 3 hits, all singles. But we'll take it, Welsh. That's signs of life from 3 guys that we were talking about acquiring in the trade video. It's almost as if we give the illusion that we know what we're doing here.
Almost. Don't get don't let the YouTube commenters think that we might know what we're doing, because of course we do not. But yeah, these have been guys, more than anything, it's just been like, you try to stay the course and stay patient. Especially, the Christian Walker one and Triston Casas actually have both been really tough for people. Michael Harris has just been a little like up and down, but things are bouncing back. We did talk about him, but Christian Walker profile was there, seems to be turning back around. This is why, like, you had the ability, you just hold on for a little bit. You 10-teamers are a little bit different. You guys are like over here, kind of the Wild West of fantasy sometimes, because, why would you sit on Christian Walker when Tyler Soderstrom's out there? But, in any 12 team above, trying to hold out when you have high investment on players, there's a reason for the payoff, and it is if they can bounce back. And this is a situation where we've kind of been pounding the table at all of these guys bouncing back, not just in the trade video, but multiple weeks. So I'm very encouraged about the Christian Walker one. That one's kind of got my cockles in a furl here, because that's the one I've been wanting. 2 multi-hit games, 5 hits in the last 2. Christian Walker, I want big time to bounce back, and looks like he's starting.
Today is draft day in the NFL, so Fantasy Pros tonight on the main channel. We'll be there, 7:30 Eastern. And it's funny. Look at this guy. Can Welsh name 5 players in the 49ers? Like, that's his team.
Is that okay? Yeah, it's not that I'm not on a fantasy football show for the last couple years
with me or anything.
Yeah, or love the 49ers more than anybody. But okay, bud.
All right. Yeah. Okay, bud.
Okay, pal.
Why don't you just name 5 just for him? Just do it real quick.
Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Isaac Guerrero, George Kittle, Ricky Pearsall, Brandon Ayuk.
All right,
we can go to the defense if you want.
There you go. No, I don't want to. I just want offense. Also, in the save category news, Porter Hodge, worked a clean inning. So Porter Hodge with the save yesterday against the Dodgers. With the way that Presley has struggled, is Hodge a guy now that we should start speculating on a little bit, or you think it's still Presley's he's got a long way to go to lose that job?
Yeah, no. Well, they had said, like in the preseason or in the spring training, that Porter Hodge was going to get some looks, like that Ryan Presley wasn't like anointed into being the only closer, that you would see some opportunities for Porter Hodge. So I think that that's a little bit of a plus. Presley hadn't, I think, pitched since Sunday, I think it was. And Porter Hodge to get this situation, I think definitely tells us a little bit of that story that maybe they're going to bounce back here and there. But I mean, he did have a 5 ERA. Expected ERA is around 2.5. Strikeouts are nice. He's walking a little bit less. I think Porter Hodge is going to get a few looks. And what I would say, I think I said a couple days ago, any guy right now, because I don't think the market is really robust with save opportunities like it was like 2 weeks ago, where it was like, oh, you're Pagan and Luke Jackson, all these guys are available. Like, it's just very little at this point. So Porter Hodge is out there. I mean, last night, Justin Martinez came in. That kind of nicks, and Shelby Miller kind of stunk again. So, like, that's answering some of those questions. I think Porter Hodge would have to move near the top of the list because he might even have that gig. You should buy those speculative ones. Let me ask you, Porter Hodge or Cade Smith?
Hodge, because I think the Presley path is easier than unseating Clase unless Clase's hurt. Clase was so good last year, and it would take an injury. But then again, that might be what we're looking at there. Sandy Alcantara, better. I wouldn't say great, but better. 3 runs, 6 innings. Took the loss there to the Reds, but an improvement. The ERA is still above 6. I'm still buying. Welsh is still buying. I think this is kind of still shaking the dust off of Tommy John not pitching for a year. I don't know if there's much more to that, just getting the feel back for all of that. And I think eventually that continues to come back. So you have to be patient with these guys. Welsh, what did last night's performance for Alcantara do for you for a patient standpoint?
I mean, like, I'm relatively patient with guys like him anyways right now. I think the positives that you're going to take away is velo was up kind of like across the board. So that looked pretty good. Really heavy changeup was really good. It was almost a 50% whiff pitch. So that's his moneymaker. And I think that sweet spot of like 40% zone percentage was great. And then he was just like heavy burying sinkers. And then the four-seam fastball did a little bit of work, and he was throwing it for strike. So I think we're setting up to be like, they actually might be lulling you down a little bit in fantasy. Like, you might be able to buy on a Sandy Alcantara right now. We know he's going to get traded. Like, they're going to move up. Also, the Marlins right now, they're kind of living this like little high life of like, man, we're so smart. We make all these great moves. We got the Connor Norbys of the world. And, look at how Kyle Stowers, Acona, like they're loving Augustin Ramirez. We traded Jazz. Like, they're loving how their developmental system is buying and what they're doing in trades. They're going to trade off Sandy. I think they're the smartest guys in the room, and they're going to trade him sooner rather than later. I'm very much into Sandy getting moved at some point. And I think what we're seeing on the table is like still a very good version of Sandy Alcantara. And I think this one showed some of the like better stuff we've seen in the past, just the results weren't quite there.
We were very close yesterday, not 1, but to 2 Cinco Stinkos. We just fell short. Very upsetting. Anthony Volpe 0 for 5, 4 strikeouts. Come on, Volpe. If you're going to do it all the way.
Why does Volpe suck so much?
You know what? Let's talk about that, because that is the hot topic right now around the New York area. 24 years old. He's been in the majors now a couple years. This happens sometimes to these quote-unquote can't-miss guys. And I watched Volpe play live a bunch before he got called up, and I thought Volpe was a nice player. I did not get the vibe of Volpe that I get when I watch a guy like Nick Kurtz, or even a Bazana or somebody like that. I just didn't get that vibe off him. I think Volpe was a nice player. The question is, what has happened from the minor league ranks to the major leagues? Because obviously there's a disconnect here. Continuously hitting around 200 is not going to get it done. So at what point do the Yankees start questioning him as an everyday player? Because I feel like that becomes the next bit of business, which is you look at Volpe and you go, maybe Volpe is a platoon guy. Maybe he's just sharing time altogether. But the investment they've made in Volpe, they've given him time. They've given him support. They haven't gotten the productivity. When does patience run out?
Yeah, that's a great question of like, when will patience run out for a team like this? Like, they've got viable minor leaguers, but do they have like a future set shortstop? I don't think right now, no, and nowhere in the future. This is why I stuttered on it. Here are the pitches currently that Anthony Volpe does not have a registered batting average against. So he does not have a hit. Are you ready? These are the pitch types. There's usually like players face around like 10 different pitch types. Here they are. Changeup, sweeper, curveball, slurve, and split finger. He has not had a singular hit. Yes, you got to it. He's hitting 231 against sliders, but guess what? 3 variant-y fastballs are the only things he's got hit against. 4 seams, sinkers, and cutters. Cutters, fastball, slider, whatever you want to call it. But that's it. And he's underperforming against fastballs. He can't hit off secondary stuff. And weirdly enough, in his entire career, he just doesn't hit righties at all. He is in his 2 of 3 years now where he's hit under 200 against right-handed hitters. What are we talking? Or pitchers? What are we talking about? He hit 240, I think, last year. And then 2 of these 3 years, he's hitting under 200 against righties. And that is guys are killing him with secondary stuff. So can he be fixed? There's lots of talent. He could run, and we've seen him hit homers, and now we got torpedo bats. But a torpedo bat isn't going to help you hit a slider. And that is clearly what he needs to do with breaking pitches. So I don't know. Technical term, why do you suck so much? I don't know what's going on with it and why they can't redevelop it, though.
It's very telling what you said, which is that he's only hitting fastballs. And once the league figures you out, that's it, and you don't adjust back. So you have to take better at bats to get yourself into situations where you're getting fastballs. But from a fantasy perspective right now, I mean, you absolutely cut bait with Anthony Volpe. I'm not in dynasty leagues. I'm not holding my breath with this kid at this stage. You've waited. I know you might be a little bit more patient than I am, but this is the long look now. And sometimes these guys just fall short. It happens sometimes. Also, another guy just missed the Cinco Stinko, Tyrone Taylor of the Mets. And I'm bringing this up because I mentioned it the other day and we got into a discussion about it. Jeff McNeil, I think, is slated to come back Friday, tomorrow, I want to say. And Ronald Acuna, oh my God, Luisangelo Acuna has played 30-plus games, I know, at center field in AAA last year. It feels like that might be the route to go. And that's how you keep Acuna in the lineup. And I would not be shocked if you saw Acuna take over that center field role sooner than later, because hitting a $188 is not going to get it done for Tyrone Taylor. And Siri's not going to be back for 10 weeks. So what do you think about Acuna potentially getting that eligibility? I think that makes him pretty valuable.
Yeah, that's what, when we had this conversation, that was the first thing I went to was like, I think Luisangelo Acuna could go into the outfield that opens up, like Brett Beatty is depending like where you're trying to get Brett Beatty in the lineup every single day if they're wanting to do that. So that would end up being my play if I'm this team. I don't think there's anybody out on the market right now. There's plenty of players the teams seem to be kind of just, letting go of. Who knows? Maybe they call the Diamondbacks for like a Jake McCarthy, but I'm not sure if they go in the trade route, especially when you have Acuna. I would just love to see Acuna do that and get that eligibility.
All right, let's continue on here with a new low for the Orioles. They have the worst team ERA in baseball. Congratulations, 5.45. Way to go, Orioles. It's not going to get better anytime soon. It's worse
Don't need
by
Corbin.
half a run, by the way, than Colorado and Miami. So Orioles all-time low.
Oof,
there you go.
That is brutal. I mean, not that Corbin Burns right now, it's any he can be like, I told you so. He's got like a 5 ERA, but still, like maybe it would have helped if they were a bit more aggressive. It also stings a tiny bit from a real baseball Orioles standpoint that they've got like Kobe Mayo and they've got a litany of like AA and high A prospects, and they're not playing them. They're not doing anything with them. And then they also just have like the worst pitching of all time. You unfortunately need to take Kobe Mayo and you need to go make a move. Probably the Sandy Alcantara
or Westberg or somebody like, it doesn't have to be Mayo. It can be somebody else. I'd rather keep Mayo and deal with one of these other guys. Who knows? Maybe it's Jackson Holiday at the end of the day. Shane McClanahan, good news. We think he's expected to resume throwing this week. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's no structural damage. This is that tricep injury, that inflammation that he had. So, again, you're holding your breath. It doesn't have some sort of relapse. We'll see what happened. It was a scary moment. If he comes back and he pitches, my goodness, that'll be a hell of a story. So we're rooting for Shane McClanahan. But Blake Snell, we might have to root a little harder. He was shut down from throwing. He had left shoulder soreness. Oh, man, my shoulder hurts again, man.
I need to be hydrated. This is bad. I'm very worried about
water,
this.
Man. Dang.
I'm very worried about Blake Snell.
Yeah,
he's going to be relegated back to streaming because I don't know if he's going to be pitching a lot this year. He had a throwing session. He felt discomfort. It's not the end of the world right now, but if you're a Blake Snell owner, this might be like last year where it's just like, well, the first half is just completely written off. This could be something that's like a month or two. And by the way, what is the deal with the Dodgers and the pitching injuries? Do they have the worst medical staff of all time to take care of pitch? I mean, it's almost legendary how these pitchers get hurt. Who's a pitcher that hasn't gotten hurt that is currently on that staff or even in AAA?
No, I mean, even last year, Yamamoto got hurt.
Got hurt. Glasnow's been hurt. Kershaw
experiment has been tricky. Everybody just giving up and throwing their hands up that the Dodgers, are going to just roll over. But yeah, I keep saying the same thing. Injuries. I don't care how good the bullpen is. If the starting pitchers can't get you through 5, It's going to be a problem. Yamamoto's been great. Glass now, Kershaw's working his way back. We'll see what he's got left in the tank. Jerry makes an interesting observation here in the chat. Have you seen so many people batting under 200 for a month, first month into the season? There are a lot of guys under 200. Contact is just not what it used to be in this league, and that's why I think you got to value the guys who make consistent contact, Welsh. But it is kind of funny. There's a lot of guys just getting crushed right now on batting average.
Yeah, I think we also saw some like increases in fly balls, like fly ball in overall, like year over years was at a high, at least in the first couple of weeks of the season, which, that could be part of it. It's just not a lot of great quality of contact. Maybe guys leaning back on, hey, torpedo bat, like where can I get the barrel? I don't know. Is it strikeouts? Is it velocity? Is there a correlation to velocity early on in the season? We're seeing guys throw so hard, and there's always this bounce back between big velo helping ERA and then hitters sacrificing contact for power and money. It is a really weird thing. I don't know if baseball can do anything about it. And then on top of all of that, you've also got the continuous, not just torpedo bat stuff. You got the baseball's different. Every player, the baseball's switched out here and there. And Lance Brosdowski actually did a really interesting breakdown. You should go check it out on his YouTube about the minor league baseballs versus the major league baseballs. And literally it built down to like where they're manufactured. I think the major league ones are built in China, are built, constructed. And the minor league ones are in like Puerto Rico. And it's like, there's like literally different like temperature gauges on it. And you get like high percentages of stuff being cut down from pitches, somewhere between like 8 and 15% of like spin movement and vertical up and down can change on pitches from the minor league to the major league. It's such a baseball thing. I know that's boring, by the way. It's the most baseball thing of all time that we're sitting here talking about baseballs and bats and this and that. Just not something you see in football or basketball. We have to deal with, but it's also why it's like, it'd be cool if we could figure these things out. It's not great when 400 players are batting under 200 for anybody.
All right. Huck wants to get back in your good graces. He apologized earlier for the 49er comment. Been feeling low on Eugenio Suarez, so I dropped him and claimed Luke Keyshaw. Feeling good about it. Thoughts, Welsh?
Yeah, I mean, I ironically, it always happens like this. I'm like, I have Luke Keyshaw really high in my prospect ranks, but I was sitting here being like, guys, I just don't know what the path is. I got so many players. Like I just don't know if he's up for long. Right now, he's just a freaking monster. He's not striking out. He's walking. He's hitting the ball hard. He's stealing bases. He had 5 stolen bases in his first 5 games. This is the type of stuff that keeps you up in the majors. So I think you should feel like good about owning him. Heaney is super streaky. He's going to probably bounce back, but it's just like great that you had 5 hits that are all homers, but he doesn't do anything else. I think we might be starting to get back to that clock ticking a little bit for someone like Eugenio, where you got Lawler in the minors. There's only so long Eugenio can keep. I mean, he's a great defender, but being bad. So all of this to say that if it's a shorter league, like that's great. Get the stolen bases. Keyshaw looks like he actually might stick up in the majors, and Eugenio's not bouncing back. So not
350
right now.
batting average, 5 stolen bases, pretty good start. Speaking of rookies, let's do the rookie. Nick Kurtz got his first big league hit. His dad was celebrating. It was a nice moment there.
Did you see him fall too?
Yeah. Kurtz is fun.
I felt bad, but he ate it. There was a fly ball and it was right at the mound, and he just like toppled over, and like he's a giant. He's like me. Like you saw. Imagine me falling over. Like it's bad.
I can, and it's funnier. It's even funnier.
I almost fell over when we played the football. Remember, it was the flag.
Yes, you did.
Tackle or whatever we were playing.
The Rockies optioned Zack Veen to AAA, so that was quick, Welsh.
Yeah, I mean, they have so many options. They never make the right decisions, but it was quick because he had a 37% strikeout rate, and he was he wasn't even hitting his weight, and that's pretty tough because it's a skinny guy. So he's got a lot to work on. There's not a lot of power projection, and unfortunately, the strikeouts took over everything. So see ya, kick rocks.
Yep. That was what we said. Look, strikeout rate's huge. He's an explosive player, but he's undisciplined in every single way. Brandon Young is going to make another start tomorrow against the Tigers. My guy. He's now my guy.
This is like your dude of all dudes that you've ever talked about.
One time I accidentally called him Jacob Young. Now I'm calling him Brandon Young. So Young is going to make and I said he was going to be back. I said, look, you can't keep doing this with the Orioles. Anybody that's not getting crushed on the mound, you got to throw him out there. Couple double-A prospects, too. I just want to talk. Hagen Smith had a night. 8 strikeouts in 4 shutout innings. And Marlins prospect Robbie Snelling, 9 strikeouts in 6 innings. I know they're not close, but just in those dynasty leagues to keep an eye out. And one of our old favorite prospects, who I don't understand why he's not up with the big club yet, Davison De Los Santos, 4 for 5 with a triple in AAA Jacksonville yesterday. So what's going on? Come on, Marlins. I thought you're super smart. Bring up all the rest of the kids, right?
I'm actually a little surprised too. I thought he was going to break camp with them. Big, huge power. Still young. He's like 21 years old. Some of the best power projection in the minors, but he's got some big strikeout issues. Position is kind of a little bit of a problem with him. Jesus Sanchez is back and is kind of in that DH spot. I just don't think they quite have a home for him or what they want right now, but he's going to get there very soon. And by the way, shout out to Robbie Snelling. When he was a Padre, talked to him a couple times. He's a big 49er fan, so I know he'll be locked in tonight.
Can he name 5 49ers?
I don't know. We should probably find out. Someone call the minor league affiliate and make sure he can name 5 if he's going to actually be a Niner fan.
Nuckin gives us the perfect transition to fun facts today, which is Kyron Paris, one of the most dropped guys, the 3rd most dropped guy on CBS. He dropped him for Keyshaw. So interesting. Just putting that out there. Also, if you missed it yesterday, I would suggest running to the YouTube channel and watching yesterday's Q&A live stream, because we had a lot of fun. Mad Dog Russo came on the program too. That was super fun.
We had Old Man Joe and Old Man Welsh came on the show.
On this though?
Was that on this show? I did 3 shows yesterday. Never mind.
Yeah,
maybe
I think that was on leading off. But we got into a big kerfuffle about Kevin Gossman versus Tommy Edman in a trade. And we were on polar opposites. The poll did not go my way. Look, he's got 8 home runs right now in the month of April. He's got 13 high as a career in any season. Fun fact, I went and did some homework. So he's been playing the Cubs all week, and Tommy Edman crushes the Cubs. How much? In his career, Tommy Edman has 15 home runs against the Cubs. That's 3 times more than any other team in his career.
Wow.
Now, I understand he played in St. Louis, so they played the Cubs more, but still, 3 times? So it looks like Mr. Cub is really Tommy Edman. So just put that in your back pocket, Welsh. You don't have to. You can comment. You're free to comment if you'd like about that stat. Any feelings about that?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be gone tomorrow. I'm not going to be on leading off, so I'll miss you all. Maybe I should take Tommy Edman tomorrow in perpetuity through the weekend or something like that if he's a Cub destroyer.
I think you should. That's what you got to do.
Maybe I will.
All right, let's get to 3 up and 3 down. Brady Singer, 6 innings, 2-run balls, 8 strikeouts against the Marlins. He's been terrific for the Reds. The Reds, by the way, one of the top ERAs. We talked about Baltimore being at the bottom. The Reds are up at the top. Abbott's pitched well. Green's pitched well. Lodolo. Reds pitching, probably, I'm going to say it, the deepest in that division, maybe, possibly, at least right now. We'll see what the Brewers' health gives us in a couple weeks. Zach Wheeler, 9 strikeouts, 2 runs over 6 innings against the Mets, but the Mets get the best of the Phillies again. They swept the Phillies. Oh, baby, I love it. It's good. And Andrew Heaney held the Angels to 1 hit in 6 innings with 9 Ks. The downs, though, Matthew Boyd, 10 hits, 6 runs. Not a good day for Matthew Boyd. Bowden Francis, 8 hits, 3 runs, just 2 strikeouts and 4 2/3. And Kumar Rocker, well, we're in that weird spot here where, people dropped him, then people picked him up. He had a good start, and now 5 runs in 1 2/3 innings. Your thoughts on Kumar Rocker, Welsh?
It's not great. Yeah, Lawrence Butler took him dead red center. And when Jack Leiter is about to come back, he just had his rehab assignment or rehab start the other day. I guess they're not quite lined up, but they're not so far off that they can stretch a start here and they can make that work. I wonder if Kumar is going to be knocked out of this rotation when Leiter comes back, or at worst that Rocker's on a shorter leash than most of these guys, because they're now getting going. The bats are starting to come alive. Yeah. They unfortunately used up some of their extra lives. If this is a game, they don't have the ability to afford more. Just let's see if things figure out. They're playing catch up right now, and they need their pitching to be at the very tippy top. And I think that's going to put Kumar in a short list. So I'm not really holding him right now. He hasn't really looked fantastic. A's had him very, very early on as well. And I don't think he's even a streamer option as much for me.
Well, DeGrom's not going anywhere. Evaldi's not going anywhere. Molly's pitched well. Patrick Corbin is now invincible and is
spider powers.
So no room at the inn here for Rocker. I think you're right. I think he is AAA bound, or maybe, just maybe, bullpen bound. Keep saying it.
I think that's a possibility. You know what? I don't know what they would do in that one. That's a good one. I don't know if they would potentially hurt his ability to be stretched out for the season, if they make him a long reliever, or if they'd send him down so he can keep getting those starts. And I feel like because of, you could look at like lack of depth. I mean, Tyler Mahle and Patrick Corbin in your rotation doesn't like give you a lot of confidence, but they may want him in AAA to keep being stretched out and get those starts. But who knows?
Maybe, but he's only got so many innings in that tank.
He's not going to be a closer, though, if that's what you're trying to build to. He's not going to be a closer.
Not yet. Someday we shall see.
You still think Jacob deGrom's going to be a closer? He's not going to be a closer.
I know my argument was at this stage in his career, I just don't think he can. I'm looking at like Smoltz, like he can't go at that level anymore. So why not try to get the most of deGrom you can with the least amount of risk? And I don't think that's a bad thing, especially the way the ninth inning leverage is used, the way Major League Baseball is, where pitchers go 5 innings nowadays, and the bullpen is so huge. When you take the ninth inning out of it with somebody who's dominant and you give them clean innings to work, how great historically is Jacob deGrom in the first inning, right? You look at some of those he is untouchable.
Also, like he would up his stuff. Like these guys kind of hold it back a tiny bit. So if you and ironically this year, like things seem to be just like backtracked a tiny bit for Jacob deGrom. He's like a little bit more changeup, and the stuff is not quite as strikeouty as before. So sure, if he was like in a singular inning, he would just let it loose. But he's just too good, and the stuff is still there. The stuff is holding longer for these older guys. It's just maybe it's not as fluid. Where it's like Smoltz, when the stuff gets down into like low 90s and stuff, they're just out of there. deGrom's not going anywhere. Is what I'm saying.
No. And look, maybe your stuff is down. Maybe your stuff is fatigued, and maybe it takes a little longer for your performance to get to where it used to be. And these might all be signs of low testosterone, a condition affecting about 30% of adult men in America. And Casas is an FDA-approved testosterone replacement therapy designed for men like you. It's not an injection. It's not a gel. It's a twice-daily pill that fits seamlessly into your active lifestyle, helping restore your testosterone to optimal levels. Don't let low T hold you back. Visit KaiserTrex.com to learn more from a provider near you, and you can help get started today. That's KaiserTrex, KYZATREX.com. Are you ready, Welsh? It's by prescription only.
Ready.
KaiserTrex is a controlled substance and can be a target of abuse. Don't abuse the KaiserTrex, okay? Don't abuse. That's bad job by you. Don't abuse it. KaiserTrex is not for use of pregnant women. Again. With men to prostate cancer or breast cancer, and safety and efficacy in those younger than 18 is not known. Tell your doctor about any medical conditions and medications you're on. Serious side effects could include, not going to, but could include increased blood pressure, worsening prostate symptoms, increased prostate cancer risk, blood clots in the legs or lungs, decreased sperm count, liver problems, enlarged painful breasts, or breathing problems while you sleep. Could. Common side effects could include swelling of the ankles, feet, or body, increased red blood cell count, and increase in prostate-specific antigen or PSA levels. PSA is a test used to detect prostate cancer. Report these symptoms to your doctor. Call your doctor today to learn more about KaiserTrex. Visit for more information and get your questions answered. Go to www.kaisertrex.com or call 1-833-949-5040. There you go.
I have an idea. I want to, I got to be careful about what it would be, but I feel like we need a KaiserTrex mascot. And it would be like, let's just for this argument, so we don't get too crass here. Let's say it's a little pill or something. It's a little pill, and it's wearing a FantasyPros hat, and the pill has Joey P's face on it. And he goes,
why does it have to have my face on it?
Well, because you're the spokesman of it. It goes, hey, yo, it's me, low T, Joey P. And that would be the KaiserTrex
I am not the spokesman of it. I do the reads of it. I am not getting any money directly from KaiserTrex.
It's me, low T, Joey P. Hey, yo.
There's no direct money going into my pocket for this read.
Oh, God. The chat loves that idea, by the way.
Of course they do. It's funny. I like
low T,
but I'm not doing it because it's, look, if you want to sponsor me directly, then we can have that conversation. Injuries. Corey Seager on the IL with the hamstring strain. Copy paste to next year and the year after that and the year after that. Grayson Rodriguez now has a mild lat strain on top of his other injury. He cannot catch a break, Welsh. I told you, I think it's going to be a dead season for Grayson Rodriguez. Are you buying that? Are you with me? Are you holding hands?
I mean, like what? Like, am I going to pick him up?
He ain't pitching. Like,
no, I actually think there's
5 starts under. That's where I am.
I think there's a chance, dude, it's April. If he's shut down for a couple of weeks and he's going to get back out there, I actually do think he could come back in like June or July or something like that. Do I think it's going to be massively effective? I don't know. They need it. If there was any time a team was going to press an injured pitcher to come back, it would be here. If they could just replace Kyle Bradish's arm completely from the Tommy John and get him out there, they need to push these guys as hard as possible if they're going to be in any type of contention. So I think we could see Grayson, but to your point, like, do I think it's going to be great? I'm not so sure about that. But if he's sitting on an IL and you got the spots open, I feel like better about him right now, I think, than I do with Jared Jones, because the hell have we heard about Jared Jones? I don't think I've heard anything.
Jared Jones is scheduled to go get a follow-up MRI this week. So
look at that. There you go. Transition. Boom.
You asked for Jared Jones news. I give you Jared Jones news.
A+ low T Joey P. I love it.
Easy.
Yeah, already hating it.
Yeah, easy. Just because you're going to be away tomorrow. All right. And remember, you're not here tomorrow to defend yourself. Just saying.
Man.
Jake Mangum was removed. Turns out left groin tightness for him. Seiya Suzuki scratched from the lineup with right wrist soreness. So that's been kind of bothering all year so far for Suzuki. Any concerns long-term about that wrist?
I don't know if it's long-term, but yeah, wrist in hitters is never great, especially if it is like a little bit more serious, like, power zapping and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Something to monitor. I'm not sure there's any, but I don't know if there's any application. Just watch it. But yeah, I don't love that.
Look at this, Jerry. Remember when Paris was the hot waiver wire guy and now people are dropping him? Yeah, I remember. Just, this is the thing. When the player has a history, sometimes they completely, it's very rare that they completely change their stripes and become a whole different player. Kyron Paris, I'm sure will bounce back a little bit, but I mean, that run was ridiculous and unsustainable. I hope he bounces back. We'll see. CJ Abrams, he's trying to bounce back here. 0 for 3 on Wednesday in the minor league rehab assignment on AA. So hopefully if he's doing rehab assignments now, maybe sometime early next week we'll get an activation from him, which is great. And now it's time for us to activate something, which is our best bets of the day.
Boom.
Right, Welsh? See, I didn't even let you say it because
no, it's good. I don't deserve to. I had a horrible day yesterday, so I shouldn't. I did that with Arico when you were gone. It was like there was a bad day. We weren't going to even do the jingle. No jingle when it was a bad betting day. So I had a bad.
I'm on massive cold medicine right now because my allergies are killing me today. So I just totally forgot.
Why are you taking cold medicine for allergies?
Well, because I take the cold and sinus. It helps me, but it makes me a little loopy.
Oh, poor Joey.
But I got 5 hours of NFL draft tonight, so I got to figure that out. So, best bets of the day, Arizona on the money line, -130. Actually, some markets it's even better than that. That's the FanDuel price right now. Washington Nationals on the money line, -112. And sticking with the Nats, I'm going to go Mackenzie Gore over 7.5 strikeouts at +105. And give me Wyatt Langford, who's been red hot since his return. Another game in Sacramento for him, that's driving a run, +155. Nice numbers there. Going back to Arizona, too, you're getting Corbin Burns on the mound today, so hoping for a little bit of a turnaround from Corbin Burns. That would be nice to see here. Welsh, where are you going for your bets for today?
No Chandler Simpson today. You're all about the Chandler Simpson.
Well, yesterday he wasn't in the lineup, and I was really upset about that. So
I think, wasn't he? I thought he was. I saw him in center. I saw him out there.
He was not in the lineup yesterday, I believe. I could be wrong.
I was watching a decent amount of that game, and especially when the Diamondbacks blew it. I believe Chandler Simpson was, and I'm looking at the box score. He was, no, you know what? He came in a little bit later because Mangum got hurt. So he had 3 at bats.
He came into the game, but he didn't
start
the game.
That's what it was. Yeah, good call. +152
so we're both
if you guys care. Yeah,
which is
kind
nice.
All right, my bets today, awful yesterday, but I got to get back on the first 5 track, and we're going Boston, Seattle. Through the first 5 innings, we're going under 4.5 runs. We've got Happy Garrett Crochet Day to all that celebrate. We've also got Brian Wu. Boston has been pretty strikeout heavy. Brian Wu's not a big strikeout guy, but he's also going to, low walk and kind of lull you into some bad contact. Garrett Crochet has been incredible, looking back like he's that Cy Young guy. And Seattle's, even though Randy Rosarena kind of has a little bit of Crochet's number, Seattle's offense has been a little bit meh. So we're going under 4.5 runs through the first 5. This is my favorite one of the day. Also a best bet over on Betting Pros. Little money line, just full game money line. We're going Boston. And then we're doing the Kansas City Herman Marquez / Cole Reagan start because they've got a 2-for today. I don't want to back the Michael Lorenzen one. So we're taking the Cole Reagan's backed Royals full game money line and pairing it with the Garrett Crochet Boston money line. That one we're getting at plus money. I actually think it's like plus 110, but markets will change. And then finally, how about Corbin Carroll? Lots of different fun bets to play with Corbin Carroll. He scored runs in each of his 2 past games. He's one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball. He leads off for this team. Drew Rasmussen has been good. Corbin Carroll, better. We're going to go Corbin Carroll scores a run. He scored 2 last night, minus 120. Total bases are interesting. Everything is just up for Corbin Carroll right now. If you want to do total bases, it's almost even money, but we're going to just go with a run scored. Gets a little walkie-walkie. Corbin Carroll minus 120. And we're staring at those stolen bases at almost 2-1 for Carroll. I think we get a stolen base tonight. So those are my bets.
A little walkie-walkie. I like that. Now, not a sponsor of the show, but Todd recommending the Flonase to me. He says the only way to go. I do the Flonase also.
What about the
neti
pot?
Like once a day. Well, I have the Navage, which is the greatest thing ever.
What's that?
It hasn't been that bad yet, but I might have to do the Navage.
What is the Navage? Is it the
what is the Navage?
Teapot that goes in your nose?
No, it's way more sophisticated. The Navage is that system with the water where you put the little salt tab in, you put the water in, you close it, and then it has 2 things that goes in your nostrils, both at the same time. It goes in and it pulls it right out through the bottom. It is the greatest thing ever when you have any sort of allergies or cold things. They're expensive. See, Navage is the GOAT right here. Gold knows exactly what I'm talking about. The Navage is the greatest thing ever.
Why don't you do a demonstration video for us we'll do it on FantasyPros.
Well, it's not the most pleasing thing to watch someone do.
It's not the most pleasing thing to hear you talk about either.
The other. What's that?
Yeah. It wasn't pleasing to hear you mention either.
I asked what it was, so I told you what it was.
Okay, yeah, no. I mean, I'm not judging. I'm just saying it sounds very cumbersome.
I think you're judging a little bit, but the Navage is amazing. Look, you see, Nuckin, everybody knows. If you've got a Navage, it's amazing. And we might be in Navage territory right now.
Never heard of it. You know what? Call Jimmy right now. Let's get the sponsorship. We'll Joe clear out his nose once a week on the show. Sponsorship opportunity.
There you go. Let's take a look at the home run board, see if any changes from last night. Anybody have Corbin Carroll? I don't know. Marty's at 14, maybe. Marty made a jump, I believe. Razors at 13, far outs at 13. Welsh, hanging on to the top 10 spot there with 9, but gone stone cold for a little while there, Welsh. Remember, if you want to make home run calls, the best way to do it is to use the Betting Pros app. And of course, don't forget, use that promo code leadingoff at fantasypros.com/leadingoff. New customers can place their first bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets when you win. And of course, the Sammy Sosa jersey is up for grabs this season, autographed by Sammy Sosa himself. Pre or post roids, I don't know, but it's on there. That's all I know. Welsh, where are you going for your home run call today?
Well, I was going to go with Bobby Witt, but I will say, I know it causes a whole kerfuffle for everybody. Oh, my God. Look at this graphic we have. Oh, my God. Why do you have hair, too, by the way?
I have hair and glasses.
Yeah, I mean, this is a start. This is definitely a start. Hey, me! It's Low T, Joey P. Joey hates that. Joe, and I understand. But, Joe, you're loved.
I want more Mike Mayer videos talking about Garrett Crochet tomorrow.
Come on, everybody's been picking on me everyone's picked on me the last 2 weeks. You get one thing, one time. But I think picking on you with the L and then making me into a Low T character, I think is a little different. I'm just saying. You're a great actor, though. Listen, heels. Faces, heels, you accept it all, Joe. You're a professional. I didn't get any homers. I was going to go with Bobby Witt Jr., but the whole double header thing causes the whole freak out for everybody. So I'm going to just move off of it. I'm going to go with Mike Trout up against the Pirates, 7 ERA starting pitcher. Mike Trout, he needs to keep hitting under 200 with all the homers so we can keep freaking out about him. So let's get a good old Mike Trout bomb today.
I took the Kaisertrex and now my hair grew back. That's what it is.
And you had the glass. It didn't look like you was the main problem there at all.
Yeah,
not at all.
Let's never see that. That's a horrible character. Wyatt Langford plus 420 today. Let's go. Langford's red hot. Let's stick with him. He looks good. It looks like we're finally getting the Wyatt Langford we were promised, which is very, very nice to see. And it's nice to see all the peanuts and Cracker Jacks. And Welsh has a competitive dance competition this weekend.
I'll be competing in, yes.
You'll be competing in. Perhaps his children as well, but at least Welsh will be. What's it like when you compete against your own children in a dance competition?
It's actually really great. You just shove them aside, you just trip them and stuff like that. Listen, I'm gonna win the hip hop competition. That's the plan here. So step up. But yes, I will be all weekend, all dance. I will have no life. But in between, I'll be watching everything on my phone.
Yes, Welsh will be watching the NFL draft live from the event. I'm sure at all times.
Go Niners.
That's right. Go Niners for you. Go Patriots for me. Join us tonight, by the way, on a regular Fantasy Pros channel for the NFL Draft starting tonight, 7:30. Be there, be square. It's going to be a good time. It'll be myself, D-Bro, Pat Fitzmaurice, Andrew Erickson, Scott Bogman, all your best friends talking football. It's going to be a really good time, though. You want to hang out with us and watch the draft. You're watching the draft by yourself or nobody else in your house is interested. Hang out with us. Watch the draft tonight and tomorrow, too. Go ahead.
And the fantasy breakdown. That's the big thing. It's like fantasy breakdown for if you guys are playing football or whatever. If it's dynasty or redraft, you're going to get fantasy breakdown. So go support the channel. Top-notch production. You're also supporting our producers. Go and do it. I will not be a part of it because I will be the Lord of Dance for the next 3 days.
All right. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on for the Lord of the Dance and me, Low T Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.
You did it.
You're the worst.
You did the thing. You did the thing.
I did it for you.
Oh.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
I know. We love you.
Tomorrow, 2 Joes, 1 show. Be there.
This show's amazing.